Hey, listen up. If you've ever felt stuck trying to please everyone and still getting nowhere, this video is for you. Because when you finally stop being the nice girl, when you stop shrinking yourself to fit into everyone else's expectations, that's when everything changes. I'm talking about real power, real confidence, and the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't just scroll past, watch the whole video, because what happens next might just change everything for you. Ready? Let's go. When you stop being the nice girl, the first thing you gain is authentic self-respect. This isn't about being rude or unkind. It's about honoring your true feelings and needs instead of constantly bending over backwards to please others. Studies show that people who set clear boundaries and speak their truth experience higher self-esteem and mental well-being. For example, when you say no to something that drains you, you're telling yourself that your energy and time matter. This shift from people-pleasing to self-respect is a game changer because it rewires your brain to value your own voice and choices. Imagine the freedom of no longer shrinking yourself to fit someone else's expectations. This is where your true power begins. Along with self-respect, setting boundaries becomes non-negotiable. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your emotional and physical space, and when you stop being the nice girl, you start drawing these lines firmly. Without boundaries, people may take advantage of your kindness, leaving you exhausted and resentful. But when you say, "I can't do that," or "that's not okay with me," you're not only protecting yourself, but also teaching others how to treat you. For instance, a woman who used to say yes to every extra task at work might start prioritizing her workload and saying no to unreasonable demands. This doesn't make her less kind. It makes her respected and effective. Boundaries are the foundation of healthy relationships and personal well-being. As you stop being the nice girl, people start taking you seriously. This is a natural consequence of asserting yourself and refusing to be a pushover. When you constantly agree with everyone or avoid conflict, others may see you as agreeable but not authoritative. However, when you express your honest opinions and stand your ground, your voice gains weight. Think about leaders or influencers you admire. They didn't get there by always saying yes or avoiding tough conversations. They were taken seriously because they were authentic and clear about their values. This shift can open doors professionally and personally as people recognize your strength and reliability. Another powerful change is that you stop seeking external validation. People pleasers often rely on others' approval to feel worthy, which is exhausting and unstable. But when you stop being the nice girl, you start cultivating internal validation, trusting your own judgment, and feeling confident in your choices regardless of others' opinions. Research in psychology shows that internal validation leads to greater happiness and resilience. For example, instead of worrying about whether a friend approves of your decision, you focus on what feels right for you. This independence is liberating and fuels personal growth. Your confidence skyrockets as a result of these changes. Confidence isn't about arrogance. It's about trusting yourself and your abilities. When you stop being the nice girl, you stop doubting your worth and start embracing your strengths. This boost in confidence can be seen in everyday actions, speaking up in meetings, pursuing new opportunities, or simply feeling comfortable saying no. Famous motivational speaker Mel Robbins often talks about how small actions, like using her 5-second rule to push past hesitation, build massive confidence over time. Imagine what you could achieve with that kind of self-belief fueling your decisions. You also attract healthier relationships when you stop being the nice girl. People who constantly please others may find themselves surrounded by energy vampires, those who take but don't give back. But when you set boundaries and honor your needs, you naturally draw people who respect and support you. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and authenticity, not on one-sided sacrifice. For example, a woman who used to stay in a toxic relationship out of fear of being alone might find the courage to leave and attract partners who truly value her. This transformation enriches your social and emotional life profoundly. Reclaiming your time and energy is another major benefit. People pleasers often say yes to everything, leaving little time for themselves. But when you stop being the nice girl, you start prioritizing your well-being and goals. Time becomes your ally instead of your enemy. You might start saying no to extra work, social obligations, or favors that drain you, freeing up space for what truly matters: self-care, passions, and rest. This shift is essential for long-term happiness and productivity. Fear of disappointing others fades as you embrace your authentic self. This fear often keeps people stuck in nice girl mode, afraid that saying no or speaking up will lead to rejection or conflict. But the truth is, disappointing others is part of life, and it's impossible to please everyone. When you stop fearing this, you gain freedom. You learn that your worth isn't tied to others' approval. For example, a woman might hesitate to express her true feelings at work, fearing backlash, but when she overcomes this fear, she gains respect and peace of mind. This courage to disappoint is a crucial step toward empowerment. You begin to express your true opinions freely, which is vital for authenticity and growth. When you stop being the nice girl, you no longer hide your thoughts to avoid conflict or rejection. Instead, you share your perspective honestly and respectfully. This openness fosters deeper connections and self-respect. Consider how much more fulfilling conversations are when you're honest rather than simply agreeable. This change also helps you influence others positively, as your genuine voice carries more weight. Stopping over-apologizing is another key shift. People pleasers often apologize excessively, even when they haven't done anything wrong, as a way to avoid conflict or gain approval. But when you stop being the nice girl, you recognize that you don't need to apologize for setting boundaries or expressing your needs. This change reduces anxiety and builds confidence. For example, instead of saying, "Sorry to bother you," you might say, "I need to discuss something important." This simple shift changes how others perceive you and how you perceive yourself. Your decisions start aligning with your values rather than others' expectations. When you're no longer trying to please everyone, you make choices based on what truly matters to you. This alignment leads to greater satisfaction and purpose. For instance, a woman might choose a career path that fulfills her passion rather than one that simply looks good to others. Living in alignment with your values creates inner harmony and motivation. Finally, you become more assertive. Assertiveness is the ability to express your thoughts, feelings, and needs directly and respectfully. It's a skill that people pleasers often lack because they fear conflict or rejection. But when you stop being the nice girl, you practice assertiveness daily, gaining respect and control over your life. This doesn't mean being aggressive. It means standing up for yourself with confidence. For example, you might negotiate a raise at work or set clear limits with friends. Assertiveness empowers you to live authentically and fully. Each of these transformations builds on the last, creating a powerful ripple effect in your life. If you're ready to stop shrinking yourself and start living boldly, keep watching, because the journey from nice girl to empowered woman is one of the most rewarding transformations you'll ever make. When you stop being the nice girl, you begin to attract manipulative and harmful personalities less frequently. People pleasers often send an unspoken message that their boundaries are flexible and that they will sacrifice their own needs to keep others happy. Unfortunately, this attracts those who thrive on control and manipulation. Toxic friends, demanding bosses, or controlling partners instinctively latch onto people who struggle to assert themselves. They push boundaries, test compliance, and condition you to accept less and less. For example, a colleague might repeatedly dump extra work on you because you never say no, or a partner might dismiss your feelings because you avoid confrontation. Recognizing this pattern is crucial because no amount of pleasing will ever satisfy someone who benefits from your silence. Breaking free starts with setting firm boundaries and valuing your own needs. When you stop being the nice girl, you also stop blaming yourself for others' reactions or problems. People pleasers often internalize responsibility for others' feelings, believing that if they just try harder or give more, everything will be okay. This mindset leads to chronic self-doubt and exhaustion. But the truth is, you are not responsible for managing everyone's emotions or happiness. For instance, if a friend is upset because you said no to a request, it's not your fault. They are responsible for their own feelings. Letting go of this misplaced responsibility frees you from guilt and empowers you to live authentically. As you shed the need to please, you experience less anxiety and stress. Constantly trying to meet others' expectations creates pressure and fear of rejection, which can lead to chronic stress and burnout. Psychology studies link people-pleasing behavior to increased anxiety and even depression. When you start prioritizing your own needs and setting boundaries, your mental health improves significantly. For example, saying no to an extra social event when you're exhausted helps you recharge and reduces overwhelm. This shift is essential for sustainable well-being and happiness. You also stop over-explaining yourself. People pleasers often feel the need to justify their decisions excessively, fearing judgment or conflict. But when you stop being the nice girl, you learn that you don't owe anyone lengthy explanations for your choices. A simple no, thank you, or that doesn't work for me, is enough. This not only saves your energy, but also communicates confidence. For instance, instead of apologizing repeatedly for declining an invitation, you stand firm and respect your own limits. This clarity fosters respect from others and strengthens your self-esteem. Your relationships become more authentic and meaningful. When you stop people-pleasing, you stop hiding your true thoughts and feelings to keep the peace. Authenticity is key to deep connections. Psychology shows that vulnerability and honesty build intimacy, while people-pleasing creates emotional distance. For example, sharing your real opinions with a friend, even if they differ, can deepen trust and understanding. Over time, you attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are, not for a facade. You develop emotional resilience as you face conflicts and disappointments head-on rather than avoiding them. People-pleasers often equate conflict with rejection and do everything to avoid it, but this only buries discomfort and creates resentment. Learning to tolerate difficult conversations strengthens your emotional muscles. For instance, addressing a disagreement with a colleague instead of staying silent prevents misunderstandings and builds mutual respect. This resilience empowers you to navigate life's challenges with confidence. Your self-worth becomes independent of others' approval. People-pleasers tie their value to external validation, which is unstable and exhausting. But when you stop being the nice girl, you cultivate internal validation, believing you are enough regardless of others' opinions. Studies show that internal validation leads to greater happiness and self-confidence. For example, instead of obsessing over likes on social media or praise at work, you trust your own judgment and feel secure in your worth. This shift is liberating and transformative. You gain clarity about your priorities and values. When you stop people-pleasing, your decisions align with what truly matters to you, not what others expect. This alignment brings purpose and satisfaction. For example, choosing a career path based on passion rather than family pressure leads to greater fulfillment. Living authentically reduces inner conflict and motivates you to pursue your goals wholeheartedly. You experience increased energy and less burnout. Constantly saying yes to others drains your physical and emotional reserves. Setting boundaries conserves your energy for what truly matters. For example, limiting work hours or social commitments prevents exhaustion and improves overall health. This sustainable approach to life allows you to thrive rather than just survive. You become a role model for others by demonstrating healthy boundaries and self-respect. When you stop being the nice girl, you inspire friends, family, and colleagues to do the same. Your courage to live authentically encourages others to prioritize their well-being and set limits. This ripple effect creates healthier relationships and communities. You develop better communication skills. Saying no, expressing your needs, and standing up for yourself require practice and clarity. Over time, you become more assertive and articulate, which improves all areas of life. For example, negotiating a raise or addressing a conflict becomes easier and more effective. These skills increase your influence and satisfaction. Finally, you live life on your own terms. Stopping the need to please others frees you from living according to external expectations. You create a life that reflects your true self, values, and desires. This freedom is empowering and joyful. Imagine waking up each day excited about your choices because they align with who you really are. This transformation is the ultimate reward